Hey folks, and welcome to another update on the Alcan 5000 project. It's cold outside. I think it's 4 degrees. It's Detroit. It's wintertime. We're breaking records, or at least meeting records. And I'm in the garage with a kerosene heater going, trying to rebuild stuff and get ready to go to Alaska. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to be rebuilding the clutch for the Columbia 2-speed. So let me flip this camera here around and then I'll show you what I got. This here is a Columbia 2-speed engagement, disengagement clutch, right? And there's a little snap ring. Let's see if we can get a decent picture of it. Yeah, there's a little snap ring. You can see the gap right here. And maybe a little bit, there we go. We can see a little better there. So you can see the little gap right here. So I'm gonna pop that off. This centerpiece should come out. And then we got to see what we got in here. There's some dogs in here, and we're probably going to have to order some new cork and whatnot. Now, when I know that it's going to be a couple of days before I get to something, I like to keep some plastic bags on hand and put parts in them. That way you don't lose them. You can label them. You can tie them closed. You can tape them over, whatever you want to do with them. But it's always good to have some plastic bags on hand to keep your small parts in, so you don't go losing anything in the long run. We'll put these in here. Then I got a box down under the bench that's full of Columbia 2-speed parts. So this bag will go in that box. And then once I get my parts ordered, because there's a few things I need these. Obviously I need some new cork. I need a new spring. So I'm gonna go ahead and order that stuff. And in the meantime, my parts will be sitting pretty in that little bag, and ready to go. You know, now that I got all those parts off of that Columbia, I got it disassembled, I just want to put a little emphasis on something. I paid $200 for this Columbia 2-speed, which is much less than what they're usually going for. And yeah, it'd been sitting in the dirt, and one of the spring horns, spring hangers had been severely corroded. But still, most people would consider $200 for a Columbia very cheap. And while I don't want to dissuade you from getting a deal on parts, I got very lucky with this. A $200. Anytime you see a cheap, whatever it is you're looking for, if you got a cheap part that you find, don't assume that it's going to be necessarily rebuildable. A lot of times cheap parts are cheap for a reason, and if you don't have a lot of knowledge and aren't ready to spend the money, you're going to get hurt. You're generally much better off to find something that somebody else has already messed with, and you can just go ahead and give it the once over, replace the gaskets, and put it in whatever it is you're using, unless you really know what you're doing. I know it seems, I got very lucky with this Columbia, and I also have a lot of experience looking at stuff. So just a little caveat I wanted to say as I try to put this thing together and put it back in the truck. Project number 2 for the day is taking tires off the rims, off the wheels, I guess. Wheels, not rims. And then I got to straighten out a few spokes, and then that's pretty much it. So we're gonna get on with that. This here is the wheel and tire that we've got. They've got inner tubes, so what you see some bends right here, right? You see it's not quite round. That's not a huge deal because it's not a sealing surface like the new tires are. So yeah, we're gonna get on with this. I bought some tire spoons and we got a hammer, and we're gonna get on with this whole thing, and I got 4 of these to do. So let's make that happen. my friends, is how you remove a tire from a wheel, the old-fashioned way. on something that's 85 years old. And now on to bigger and better things, like reinstalling them.